Coming up on KUJH News, KU students rally for change in a campus protest, KU baseball's latest update, and what's next for the team. An internship season is here. See how students prepare.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint, this is KUJH News.
Good morning and welcome back to KUJH News. I'm Venus Beeland.
And I'm Elena Hesterly. Gender-inclusive housing will be removed from campus starting next school year, announced in early February by KU Housing. KUJH's Jonah Kahn shared why this is happening and how students are reacting.
This is where Grace Pearson Hall residents protested on February 26th what they will be losing in the coming school year: gender-inclusive housing and gendered community-style bathrooms. KU Housing said in an email, these changes come after finding the building was violating the International Building Code. Additionally, policies need to align with KU and government regulations. Residents shared they think the changes are because of another reason.
KU Housing, I believe, preemptively is trying to enforce the beliefs of the current federal administration.
KUJH reached out to KU Housing for comment and received the following response. The university needs to be in compliance with the International Building Code. As detailed in the attached letter, KU Housing will continue to support its residents in navigating this change to meet their housing needs.
They give us 3 hours notice to change our entire lives, and I can't afford anything else. I'm either at GP or I'm not in college.
KU has other residence halls on campus with bathrooms in the room. However, these living options are costly. The Department of Education's website says it will continue to follow the federal administration's Title IX rules. KU Housing will continue to work with students to make sure they feel comfortable in their housing assignments. For KUJH News, Jonah Kahn.
Thank you, Jonah. It's important that all students feel welcome to the campus community while all policies and rules are followed. Uncertainty about the economy is becoming a growing discussion among consumers. As the uncertainty begins to grow, experts are analyzing how this has impacted consumer confidence. Senior economist at the Conference Board, Stephanie Gerard, commented on their Consumer Confidence Survey's recent findings and explained that while consumers are still confident about keeping their jobs, they are becoming less confident about finding new opportunities.
I was just thinking, if I want to change job or if my kid coming out of university needs to look for a job, it's going to be more difficult than it was 6 months ago.
This economy uncertainty has left people feeling concerned. A consumer advocacy group angered by some major corporations dialing back on DEI initiatives has issued a call to action. KUJH's Taylor Doyle joins us in studio to tell us what they have planned.
The People's Union USA is calling for a nationwide economic blackout set to take place tomorrow as a call for consumers to avoid spending at major corporations like Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, and McDonald's. Activists are calling for the movement as a result of recent cutbacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives following policy changes at the federal level.
I do not know anything about the economic blackout on Friday.
No, I do not know anything really about the economic blackout on Friday.
I do not know anything about the economic blackout.
I'd love to learn more about it.
While students didn't seem to know much, Professor of Marketing and expert in customer experience, Dr. Kassan Joseph, says he's not surprised by students' lack of knowledge.
So there are 100 boycotts. 5 or 6 come to our attention, and maybe they are the most pronounced ones, and the remaining 95 we never heard about, or they just sort of vanished. One thing you want to recognize is that the boycotts that we do see and we observe are the ones that tend to have more of an impact.
Since the Boston Tea Party in 1773, consumers have protested purchasing goods. Today we see social protests of stores and restaurants like McDonald's.
While the impact of the blackout is uncertain, the U.S. is no stranger to economic boycotts to ignite change. The conversations on diversity, equity, and inclusion continue to be talked about in both local and federal news. Back to you, Venus.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm interested to see the impacts of the economic blackout.
And now Sam is here in the studio to tell us more about the spring weather. Sam, how's it looking out there?
Thank you, Milena, and what a difference a week makes. Last week, of course, had the below zero temperatures and all the snowfall, but now this week, spring is in full effect, have temperatures in the 50s and sunny skies outside all around the viewing area right now. Here on campus, we are at 53 degrees, dew point of 38, humidity of 57%, and the wind is out of the northwest at 11 miles an hour. Taking a look at satellite, there is a system up in the northeast U.S. with a cold front draped down well to our south. Meanwhile, here in Kansas, well, perfectly sunny skies continuing as high pressure dominates our area, and that will continue through the next 2 to 3 days at least. Take a look at our almanac. We'll be right back.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back. KU Endowment raised over $5 million at their annual One Day, One KU fundraiser. This is one of the largest fundraisers of the year, campaigning for over 50 organizations on campus. KUJH's Donovan Bolins has more. Thanks, Donovan. I know the band is going to be looking sharp in their new uniforms.
Now, one of KU's biggest traditions on campus, Rock Chalk Review. KUJH's Ashley Updike and Delaney Gregory went behind the scenes to see the creative process behind Rock Chalk Review.
Every year, KU students are given the opportunity to audition and participate in Rock Chalk Review, a night full of singing, storytelling, and creativity. Students learn new dance moves, songs, and build community in the world of theater.
Some cast members have been looking forward to participating in Rock Chalk Review for a while.
I didn't do it my freshman year, but I'm doing it my sophomore year, and I think just getting to see all of my friends have so much fun freshman year really made me get some FOMO, and now I'm really grateful that I did it.
But for some cast members, Rock Chalk Review was a completely new experience.
I didn't really know what Rock Chalk Review was, so basically went in here blindsided, and it was a great journey.
And some of these new cast members are already looking ahead to next year.
I'm looking to direct for Kappa Sigma next year, so I think it would be really fun to get a piece of the work that I do with a multitude of people out on a stage like this.
Not only does Rock Chalk Review provide a sense of community for students, it also gives back to the Lawrence community. This year, all proceeds will go to support the Ballard Center, which provides early childhood education and essential needs-based services for individuals and families.
Knowing that what I'm working on and what I'm doing behind the scenes is making a positive impact on someone else's life or someone else's family, is truly rewarding. I love that part of Rock Chalk.
You can watch and support Rock Chalk Review February 27th through March 1st at the Lead Center. Whether you're a fan of musical theater or just looking to support a great cause, this year's show will be a memorable one. For KUJH News, Ashley Updike
and Delaney Gregory.
Rock Chalk Review is a great way for students to get involved on campus while also giving back to the Lawrence community. If you would like to catch the performance, be sure to buy a ticket before they sell out. For tickets, visit rockchalkreview.com. Next, Sam is here to tell us more on this week's forecast. Sam?
Yes, thank you, Venus. Starting out with the week's temperature outlook, and really it's going to be a roller coaster, but nowhere near as cold as it was last week, that's for sure. Today, the high temperature around 61, a little bit warmer tomorrow at 67. We will drop back down into the 40s for Saturday, but then climb back up in the 50s on Sunday, and right back where we were come Monday and Tuesday. Then the system will come through Tuesday afternoon. That'll drop our temperatures down back into the 40s on Wednesday, and we'll probably stay in the upper 40s as we head toward next weekend. Now, as we're moving on to temperatures right now, here in Lawrence, we're at 54 degrees, 56 down in Ottawa, 53 in Tonganoxie, and 55 out to southwest, out in Osage City. Looking at our surface map, off in the northeast have the rain and snow associated with that system up there, with that long draping cold front. But yet again, here in Kansas, we have the high pressure in our area, and no systems out to our west I'm watching right now. Be a quiet next few days. As you go through the next couple of hours today, at 2 p.m., 60 degrees and sunshine, 61 at 4, 58 at 6. There could be a strong wind gust or two above 20 miles an hour early this afternoon, but that wind will die down quickly. So it'll be down into the single digits around 5 to 6 miles an hour come 6 to 8 p.m. So overnight tonight will drop down to a low of 39 degrees. Those winds will pick back up, it can be around 8 to 13 miles an hour, but the skies will remain clear. For the weekend, tomorrow high of 67, could be some strong wind gusts as well in the afternoon. Saturday drop down to 48, mostly sunny, and Sunday 56 with a couple of clouds moving back overhead. For the men's basketball games coming up over the next few days, the final home game for men's basketball is this Saturday against number 10 Texas Tech, 1 p.m. in Allen Fieldhouse, be 45 degrees, no problem waiting outside for that one. Then Monday the team travels down to number 4 Houston, where it'll be warmer, overcast, and 69 degrees at tip-off for that game. KU baseball has their opening series this week in their home opener against Omaha. First game is today at 3 o'clock. Perfect baseball weather, sunny, 60 degrees, wind's not going to be much of a factor at all at that time. Tomorrow, same time, 67, then a little bit chillier on Sunday. May need a jacket or a light coat if you're heading out to that game. Now moving on to our 7-day forecast. Again, really the turbulent temperatures are the main story, with dropping back down into the 40s from Saturday and back up on Sunday. Then Tuesday, there is a chance for some rain, maybe an isolated storm or two. It's a little bit too early to know exactly the impacts on that. But one thing for sure is that it will drop our temperatures back down into the 40s for late next week. Venus?
Thanks, Sam. And now turning to some news right here in the community. A local kitchen is celebrating its birthday this month. For 4 decades, the Lawrence Interdenominational Nutrition Kitchen, or LINK, has provided free meals to anyone in the community. LINK is housed in the basement of St. John Catholic Church and faces the Lawrence Community Shelter. Located right off of Mass Street, it's a convenient place for anyone to stop by for a hot meal. KUJH reporter Sydney Clark brings us more on LINK.
40 years ago this month, LINK served its first ever meal to just 6 people. The Lawrence Interdenominational Kitchen was founded by Ethel Williamson and Father Michael Herms in 1985. Now LINK is still impacting the community, serving about 280 meals per week.
We pretty much, we feed the homeless, less fortunate, but anybody can come down there and eat. We don't discriminate on anybody. Anybody can come down and get a hot meal.
LINK's mission is simple: to feed people regardless of their circumstances, a space where anyone and everyone is welcome. But LINK wouldn't be possible without its staff, volunteers, and community support. In 2024, LINK served 20,960 meals with the help of over 1,300 volunteers. One of those staff members being LINK's coordinator, Daryl Van. He's been a part of LINK for over 8 years, and his favorite part is?
Just meeting different people. From little kids to adults to the elderly, and then, like I say, the different groups that come in, church groups and stuff like that, I just meet a lot of different people. Some of the kids come down here and volunteer. They can be out riding their bikes, playing with their friends, but they come down there and help serve.
And for another staff member, Calvin Barnes, It only took one experience with Link to leave a lasting impact on him.
I came here one time and then I decided to help out somebody, and I had community service, so I did it.
For KUJH News, I'm Sydney Clark.
Thank you, Sydney. Community members can get a hot meal on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Happy 40th birthday to Link. We'll be back.
Coming up, Lauren will be in the studio to give us an update on sports.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Today on KUJH Sports, we've got the latest updates happening here at KU. I'm Lauren Ritchie. Kansas men's basketball is coming back from Boulder, Colorado, where they secured their first road win in over a month. The Hawks are back home this Saturday, where they will host the 10th-ranked Texas Tech Raiders. In recent home games, the lack of students in attendance has been a big storyline. Lily Schutzenhofer has more on the state of camping for KU basketball games.
At the University of Kansas, men's basketball is an institution. Students go to great lengths to secure the best seats by camping for up to a week before home games. But with the fluctuation in this year's team and the loss of other traditions, student support has wavered. Earlier this year, head coach Bill Self called students out for their weaker support.
You know what? I don't feel the student hype the way that I used to. I hope I'm wrong.
There have been fewer and fewer student camping groups this season. Benjamin Cook, a member of the camping leadership team, believes this year truly is different.
Without a doubt, it's the amount of groups that show up to the actual day of lottery. We've gone from setting records at the UNC game this early in the season, ending with K-State last season, to barely cracking 20 groups with a top 10 matchup coming into town this upcoming weekend.
Lauren Sterling, a sophomore transfer student, is camping for the first time for this Saturday's game. She had heard of the lack of camping this year and wanted to take advantage.
We were camping for my friend's birthdays on the game. So we were camping for her. And I've never done it before, and I didn't see much stress in it this time, so I thought I'd do it finally, because I haven't yet. I've heard there's not that many groups.
Although Self's comments were rough on students, Cook believes that is exactly what students needed to show up for the Jayhawks.
He did exactly what he meant to do. It was exactly, he wanted to fire the students up and kind of get them going. What do you think he tells the team at halftime when they're down a bunch? He's going to kind of give them a tough little saying and expect greatness and expect better improvement afterwards.
Last week against Oklahoma State, after a big loss to BYU, camping started with only 10 groups. This week, after a win, there were 19 groups to start. Recent wins and self-statement will only cause this number to grow. For KUJH Sports, Lily Schutzenhofer.
Kansas needs your support during the remainder of its season. It's never too late to start camping for Saturday's game by simply walking into Allen Fieldhouse and signing your group up on the sheets, followed by the proper camping rules. Looking ahead, the team will have its last home game of the season and senior night on Saturday, March 8th against Arizona. Now over to the fields, Kansas baseball is off to an impressive start. The team ranks first out of 307 teams in the first RPI release. Coop Hannon joins us live from Hoagland Ballpark with more.
In fact, this is the best start for KU baseball since 2014. The 11-year gap has seen new faces. Up to 70% of the roster is new. Some of those transfers include Brady Ballinger, who currently holds a .440 average, and Sawyer Smith, who is averaging a home run in every 8 at-bats. Sliding into the home opener, the Jayhawks are with a 4-game series against the Omaha Mavericks, a team that is currently 2-5. On the bump for the Jayhawks this afternoon will be sophomore Cooper Moore. In nearly 8 innings, he's yet to give up a run. Expect more of the same from Cooper today. The first pitch will be thrown at 3 p.m. And for you KU students, admission is free. Just bring your KU ID and maybe a couple bucks for a hot dog. That's all I've got out here at the Hog. Now let's swing things back to Lauren in the studio.
Thanks, Coop. You're looking at some beautiful baseball weather out there. Here at KU, students had the chance to meet and interact with one of the voices of the Kansas City Royals, Joel Goldberg. The local gathering took place yesterday, and reporter Tyler Bermundo has more.
And welcome to Joel Goldberg.
With over 3 decades in the industry and a front row seat to some of the most memorable moments in Major League Baseball, Joel Goldberg has built a career on storytelling, leadership, and connection. Goldberg came to the University of Kansas for the Jewish Business Club meeting on Wednesday evening to talk about his past and how it can make students successful in the long run.
Rural, urban, kids that grew up wealthy, kids that grew up dirt poor. I have to find a way to connect with all of them. When you build the trust and the relationships, you can do anything.
Goldberg once got Albert Pujols, a guy who rarely speaks to the media, to get an interview with him.
And so I thought, maybe if I ask his advice and pick his brain, maybe it could give us a little something to connect over.
The future Hall of Famer is someone who Goldberg keeps in contact with even today. Joe Goldberg has 2 kids, Ellie and Mason Goldberg. Mason is at his 4th year at the University of Kansas and is studying to be around the sports field just like his father.
Hearing him speak professionally over the years in different settings has kind of changed it. Hearing the message is never really gets old. There's always something new to it as well.
After a vacation with his wife, Joe Goldberg will be on the Royals pregame and postgame show for 6 straight months as the MLB season progresses. For KUJH Sports, I'm Tyler Ramundo.
Thanks, Tyler and Joel, for your time. And now let's get into our rapid fire sports recap. Up first, the Kansas swim and dive team is in Washington right now competing in the Big 12 championship. The Jayhawks are currently live competing in day 3 of the preliminaries before they wrap up tomorrow. After the first 2 days, KU currently sits in 8th place, and sophomore Cheyenne Lai took home gold in the 1-meter diving championship. The women's basketball team defeated BYU on the road Tuesday night with a final score of 71-66. Their final game of the season is this Sunday inside Allen Fieldhouse at 3 p.m. against Oklahoma State. The women's golf team defends their title at the Wisconsin Westbrook Invitational, and senior Lauren Clark claims back-to-back tournament wins. A team score of 825, 39 under, marks the second lowest team 54-hole score in program history. The team now ranks 23rd in this week's AP poll. The men's golf team just wrapped up its first tournament of the spring season, finishing in 7th place as a team. The Hawks will begin to prepare for the Desert Mountain Tournament happening on the 8th of March. In recent golf news, Kansas golf alumni and 2019 U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland was named the 7th recipient of the PGA Tour Courage Award. In May of 2023, there was a discovery on Woodland's brain of a lesion impacting the region that controls fear and anxiety. He underwent surgery in September of 2023 and returned to competing at the Sony Open in Hawaii in January of 2024. The softball team is back on the road after going 3-0 last weekend in Texas. They will look to keep the momentum going in the Oklahoma tournament with a 5-game slate beginning tomorrow at 11 a.m. The tennis team heads up to Lubbock, Texas for a match against 13th-ranked Texas Tech beginning tomorrow at 5 p.m. Track and field had multiple standouts at last Friday's Arkansas qualifier, including Erica Ellis, who reached a new personal best of 4.45 meters to win the women's pole vault. Up next for the team is the Big 12 Indoor Championship starting tomorrow, also in Lubbock, Texas. Next week, we will close out the basketball season and the spring sports will continue in full swing. We'll have you covered with all the action. And still ahead, how a simple letter can make a change.
Welcome back. Well, I don't know about you, Melania, but this nice weather has made everyone feel a little happier. I know that I noticed an extreme difference in just myself.
Yeah, Venus, this weather is really getting everyone just outside. Like, I'm seeing people in shorts and a t-shirt.
Crazy.
Like, I don't know about you, but I still might need a little bit of a jacket.
Light jacket.
The sunshine is just wonderful.
It's a good feeling and a nice sight to see. Sam joins us one last time to give us some tips on how to be prepared as severe weather season approaches.
Yeah, thanks, Venus. Saturday is the first day of meteorological spring, and with that comes the start of severe weather season. Just to get into some ways of how you all can be prepared. The best way to be prepared is to have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. either through your cell phone, through the wireless emergency activation system, or NOAA weather radio, or social media, with especially the NWS Topeka or other weather service sites. You can be sure to have multiple ways to receive the weather alerts. It is never a bad idea to have an emergency kit ready. Be water, non-perishable foods, flashlight for safe supplies, anything that you could need. It's good to have those just in case you have to take shelter from any impending weather. If you'd like to learn more, Douglas County is hosting a severe weather night along with the KU Emergency Management and NWS Topeka. That'll be March 13th, Thursday, 2 weeks from now, 7 to 9 p.m. in CapFed Hall. I'm going to be giving a storm spotter talk, and we'll be talking a lot more about how you can be prepared for severe weather. Venus.
Thanks, Sam. With spring break just around the corner here, students are looking to land summer internships and jumpstart their careers. KUJH's Annabelle DeFord has more on how students can secure the best opportunities this summer.
Hunting for an internship takes effort, but Jayhawks have a unique advantage. Resources like the Career Center and powerful alumni network are helping students land opportunities in unexpected ways. Internships provide hands-on experience and a pathway to future careers, but finding the right fit takes strategy. Experts say starting early and leveraging KU's network can make all of the difference.
You know, and I think a lot of students don't give themselves the permission to explore. They just start applying right away because there's this urgency to apply. And it's never too early and it's never too late to apply for an internship.
One of the best ways to get noticed? Tapping into KU's vast alumni network.
It's best in modern networking to build an authentic relationship with somebody, which can be very difficult if the first thing you ask for is an internship.
By forming genuine connections with alumni and finding a common ground, more opportunities open up. That's exactly what happened for KU journalism student Kara Lyons. She recently landed an internship in her hometown with the help of a fellow Jayhawk at the company. Lyons' experience is a reminder that networking and utilizing university resources can be a game changer in the internship search.
I think as soon as you find that connection, like immediately reach out because, you know, if nothing happens and they don't respond, then it's like, oh well, but at least you know you did all you could.
If you're looking for networking opportunities, KU's Career and Internship Expo is coming up on March 13th. Journalism students, your career fair is a week from today on March 6th. For KUJH News, Annabelle DeFord.
Thanks, Annabelle. Be sure to check out the upcoming career fairs. Best of luck to all students. Next up, KUJH's Kaden Baird gives a look on how weekly conversations over a cup of coffee are uplifting small businesses in Lawrence and across the nation.
Every Wednesday, local business owners, startup hopefuls, and mentors all convene at 2029 Becker Drive to present ideas, ask questions, and get feedback from peers who are in similar situations, all while enjoying a refreshing cup of coffee. The name of the event? 1 Million Cups. The title comes from the premise that entrepreneurs can discover solutions and engage with the community over 1 million cups of coffee.
1 Million Cups is a great place for entrepreneurs and those who have an idea to be able to get in a room with people who have experience or maybe are on the same journey. And you don't really get that in a lot of opportunities like that.
The assembly isn't unique to Lawrence, as there are 2 other groups in Kansas alone, in Wichita and in Kansas City, and over 100 in the nation. The vision of 1 Million Cups is to break down systemic barriers, allowing all individuals and communities, regardless of race, gender, and geography, to achieve economic stability.
The best part about this group is being able to ask a question and get so many varied but good and meaningful answers to my questions.
Individuals with a well thought out plan are welcome.
We encourage those who have a business model, whether they've launched it or not, from that point on to come and present.
Collaboration welcome, coffee mandatory. For KUJH News, Caden Baird.
Thanks, Kaden. Meetings for 1 Million Cups are held weekly on Wednesdays at either KU Innovation Park or the Dwayne Peasley Technical Center.
For many students, finding ways to give back to the community can be challenging, but one club at KU is making it easy. KUJH's Lexi Urban visited a Letters of Love club meeting to see how a simple letter can make a difference.
At KU, students are coming together to spread kindness, one letter at a time. Letters of Love is a global nonprofit organization that started in Minnesota.
Essentially, our purpose is just to spread kindness to kids who are staying in children's hospitals, typically battling chronic illnesses. So we just make handwritten cards, letters, and hope to encourage kids who are going through something or struggling with an illness.
Meetings are held monthly, where students gather to write and decorate cards with messages of encouragement. For many, the club is not just about giving back, but also about finding community and purpose.
I just really like the amount of people that show up. I love walking in and seeing how many people come, and that everyone is just writing letters all together. I think it's really sweet.
The impact of these letters reaches far beyond campus. The global organization has distributed thousands of letters to hospitals worldwide, with children using them to decorate their rooms and bring a touch of warmth to otherwise sterile spaces.
For older kids, they definitely can read the cards and understand fully that they're being sent a lot of love and encouragement from people all across the country. But especially just for decoration purposes, I think having somewhere to stay that feels homey and less like a hospital room is encouragement, if anything else.
As the club continues to grow, its mission remains the same: changing the world with kindness, one card at a time. For KUJH News, I'm Lexi Urban.
Students interested in getting involved can follow Letters of Love KU on Instagram for updates on meetings and other volunteer opportunities.
Well, that's all we have for you this morning. You can check out KUJH on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for exclusive content and keep up to date on the latest stories at KUJHnews.com. I'm Elena Hesterly.
And I'm Venus Beeland. KUJH News will be back next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Have a nice day.